Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to our first and only episode of Friday Night Jeremiah. And that end of Jeremiah's name is just like, oh, this was so bad. So let's get into it. So I wanted to try a few different cosplays, a few different Dark Souls characters, and this one was on my list for a little while. And I alluded to it last week. I wanted to get this video out sooner, but you know, shit just got in the way. So sorry about that, guys. Big shout out to Psych Mike here. I ended up talking to him. That is our host, of course, not Red here. But yeah, I want to talk about the build. I want to talk about these invasions. It looks like we've invaded a little fight club here. So, Jeremiah, in the event that you don't know, or maybe you were born yesterday, his full name is Xanthous King Jeremiah. And we get a nice point up from the red here because anytime you're doing a cosplay, like especially a cosplay that a lot of people don't see all the time, like something like this, you will probably get some recognition for that. I had a few point ups when I was playing as this character, and I thought that was pretty nice. But we've really got to talk about this character. Holy shit, this was like Disaster. Disaster looks at a build like this and says, wow, now that is a fucking disaster. So where do we begin? We have to begin with the weakest point of this build, which by far is the notched whip. I had never used the notched whip. If I ever had, I just kind of put it on, gave it a few swings, and thought, okay, whatever. But when this is the only melee weapon you have, you are going to hate your life, because what I was finding was, and actually we're going to talk about that too, just invading low-level guys. Even you invade low-level guys, and this fucking blue was really nice. I wanted to thank him. What an absolute beauty that was. Thank you so much. I didn't need any help getting my ass kicked, by the way, Blue. Thank you. So, you invade low-level. I think this was the same. I think this was the same guy anyway, but, or if not, very similar idea here. But like, you invade low-level guys, a lot of them don't know what the hell they're doing. That's pretty obvious. Think of back in the day when, or you know, I don't know what day it was, it might have been yesterday, when you were just going through the parish or the burg for the first time and you didn't have a clue about PvP. Maybe you had no Souls experience, maybe you came from a different game, whatever. But you think you are gonna think like, okay, even if I have a total shit build like this, I should be able to beat somebody. Well, most of the wins, actually almost all of the wins that I got, because you're gonna see my humanity go up to, I think, 18 just with this character here, but most of those, almost all of those were from, I invade the host runs off and dies. Pretty much all of them were from that. I think there was only 3 matches where I actually was able to defeat the host myself. And I'm going to reduce that to 2 because one of them, the guy rolled off, and we're going to get to that. We're going to see that at the end. And I could actually even reduce it to 1 of those 3 because I had to break character just because this whip was so bad. So that doesn't even count either. So there was one legit fight that I had out of so many of these fights that I can't, this fucking whip, you can't hit anybody with a whip. You are not going to hit anybody with a whip. There's no criticals with a whip. The only thing it has going for it is bleed. And anybody, even the guys who don't have a clue about PvP, they're going to get around you and backstab you. It's just that simple. You will not hit anything with this whip. That is the biggest downfall of this character, and that is why. Two things: we're never doing this again. I'm never gonna put the Jeremiah suit on again. Like in order to hit the guy, look at that. I had to unlock twice and just try to guess where he was going, because the thing with this is it's gonna hit straight ahead, which is fine, but it's got a bit of a wind up to it. Trust me, guys, you're not hitting jack shit with this whip. The only way you're hitting anything is if your target's the size of a goddamn bus and it's right in front of you and not moving. So tremendous handicap right off the bat with this build. Even a guy who has no idea what he's doing, he will easily beat you if that's all you're able to do is use this whip. Now you'll see here, I do have the dark hand in my left hand, and that is for parries. Normally we would have the pyro flame, which leads me to something else I wanted to talk about. Now, you can go ahead and say, yeah, see, like, eventually you just get so tired of that shitty whip that you end up breaking character and going into the double dark hands. So, and that sucks, but you can't critical with this thing. You can't hit anything with it. You can't critical with it. You just get backstabbed over and over again, because as soon as you do one move with this whip, you're wide open. The guy's just going to go right around you and go right into your ass. So, okay, well, that's enough about the whip for now. But yeah, breaking character. I broke character a lot just for the sake. Look at that. You can't hit anybody. Just for the sake of, well, for the sake of being frustrated as fuck, because let's face it, I PvP because I think it's fun. And you can say, well, you know, is it fun beating up on new players? Yeah, sure it is sometimes. But this sucks the fun out of the whole thing, because you can't win. You can't win. The only way you're going to win with this character, and if you think I'm shitting you, then go ahead and put the build together and try it. And try not to break character. The only way you're going to win is if the guy is so fucking bad that you couldn't even believe it. Now this guy, we did run into some guys who were pretty good. This guy was pretty good. And speaking of character and breaking character, yeah, we went to the dark hand, and you could accuse me of not fully duplicating the character as it appears in the game, and you would be right. So the ways that I didn't do that were, you know, obviously Jeremiah invades you in the painted world. It is probably assumed that you're gonna have at least weapon level plus 10 kind of shit by the time or equivalent by the time you get to painted world. I would think it would be close to that. I think I read on the wiki something like, they looked it up in the game files or something, Jeremiah uses a plus 7 notched whip. So we didn't use a plus 7, we used a plus 5. the reason I kept it at +5 and wanted to keep it low level, I wanted to see if this was even gonna work, because I don't want to waste my whole life. You know, it's enough that I had to go get all the shit for this stupid crummy build. I'm not gonna go up to like soul level 50 with this stupid thing if I can't even beat people who don't know what the hell they're doing at soul level 14. And I'll actually go ahead and put up our I'll go ahead and put up our stats here. We just went 16 strength, 16 dex. I didn't actually... Oh, yeah, okay. We were talking about breaking character and being guilty of not duplicating the character. Yes, that's true. There were a couple of pyromancies. God, this guy's an R1 spamming clown, isn't he, folks? Doesn't take much to beat old Jeremiah anyway, but the R1 spamming doesn't help. Oh yeah, I thought this was so funny. I've seen this a few times now. How the hell did this rat get up here? The rat cannot climb the goddamn ladder. Well, I don't know. I've seen that a few times. I just think that's so bizarre. Yes, trying to stay on topic. There were some pyromancies that I did not get, and I got one of them, the Great Chaos Fireball, and I did mean to mix it up a little bit more with the pyromancies, and I did throw out a couple of pyromancies here and there, but I'm really not a caster. I think that I would have had a better time with the build if I had tried a little more casting. But I hate casting. It's not that I hate it, it's just that I don't normally do it, and a lot of the time casting in PvP, you're not going to hit anything doing that either, so... Yeah, so you could say I didn't really give the character a good solid chance. You might be right with that. I did break character a lot. It was very frustrating, so we end up going over to the Dark Hand just so that I can parry or block. Of course, if you want to block, you can block with the... Stop saying block. You can block with the notched whip. You just have to two-hand it, and that's fine. But of course, it's terrible. I don't know what the stability is on it, but it's got to be terrible. It's probably like trying to block with a half-empty box of tissues or something. That's what I imagine it's like. So, I mean, if you really want to boil it down, there were so little fights that we had that we actually won. I think this was actually one of the ones that we actually beat this guy, I believe, with the whip, and I don't remember if I switched off to anything, to the Dark Hand, excuse me. The whip is terrible. You know, guys, I do a lot of parries. I try to do a lot of ripostes and backstabs, and the only way you're going to do that with a build like this is to switch off either to the Dark Hand or something else, and when you've done that, you have broken character. So, you know, I double Dark Hand Mildred as well. What? Just for, you know, just for whatever. I like the Dark Hand. It's nice to suck some humanity here and there. I got into a little more casting here. What is up with the rat? How did he get here? That's insane. It does not make any sense to me at all. That is just absolutely nuts. Yeah, the rest of the build isn't bad, but the notched whip makes it so bad that you would never want to do it. There's a reason why that would be a challenge run video that someone else could do. Can you beat, I don't know, maybe it exists, I didn't look for it, but can you beat Dark Souls with the notched whip? Right? That would just be hell in a cell, whatever it is. That would be so bad. I like the rest of the build. I like the outfit. I've heard chicken wing. I've heard tampon. I think it's funny. It's a cool novelty. It's recognizable. You will not win with this build. I guarantee it. Well, okay. I will not win with this build. I guarantee it. You can give it a try. At soul level 14. Oh yeah. So that was the other thing. The reason we went to 16 strength and 16 dex. I think we need 16 dex for this notched whip. And I was only going to keep it at, I think it was 12 strength, but I couldn't beat the goddamn 4 kings. And I can't even remember what I was using. I was using the, you know, like you can buy the crystal greatsword from Domhnall in the depths or in at Firelink after you beat Quelaag. I thought, you know what, I'll try that. It's not going to interfere with the matchmaking because I think that's just considered a special, like a Black Knight or Silver Knight weapon, something like that, or a boss weapon. No, not a boss weapon. Excuse me, those are +10. And I couldn't do it. And even with this build, I could use power within. I couldn't do it. So I had to go up to 16 strength to be able to use the Gravelord sword, and it took me 1 try with the Gravelord sword. I skull fucked the 4 king. Holy shit, that was... I've had some real trouble with the goddamn 4 kings lately, and... yeah. Okay, so look how long that took. This clip here was 4 minutes and 19 seconds of... okay, we'll probably put it down to 4 minutes and 10 seconds of just me trying to whip that guy. Like, it'll take forever. This was one of the other ones that I, quote-unquote, beat the host. Like, the guy fell off. That could have been another 4-minute one, but... This one, I was gonna say I was kind of proud of this one, but, again, I broke character. That whip is absolutely useless. And I didn't even see that guy. That guy, I was like, whoa, where did you come from? That was, I was impressed by that. Yeah, I really wanted to try this. I thought it was going to be cool. I really severely underestimated. Yeah, we'll give this guy a backstab because, like, that whip is just absolutely not going to cut it, especially against gankers. I invaded a couple other gankers at various points, and I just said, fuck, I'm not even going to fucking bother. It's not even worth trying it. And you can call me a quitter, you can call me whatever you want, I don't care. This build was just so... it's not the build that's bad, it's just the weapon that's bad. Especially for a melee guy like me. But I thought it was cool to try it. I got it out of my system. I will never, ever, ever do it again, and we have moved on. We had to punch the shit out of that guy just to get him out of here. I thought it was cool to try it, and I'm glad I did it, so now I know to never, ever, ever do it again. It's fun. It's a fun novelty. The novelty really wears off when you cannot win a fight at all, especially against people who aren't very good. I don't have a problem to losing to people who aren't very good. It's a case of, you know, I really should have won that, but, you know, you will not win with this build. It's very frustrating. Anyway, guys, that's my spin on Xanthous King Jeremiah. I hope you like that. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see your fine ass later.
Man, you a pain in the ass.